Today's podcast is brought to you by Taxpert. Taxpert specializes in small business and corporate taxes. I use Taxpert for all my business filings. Corporate and business taxes are complicated. Don't try to do them yourselves. It's not worth getting in trouble with the government. I use Taxpert every month. They are professional and courteous and speak both English and Korean. Taxpert is great if you need a new business address and help with navigating the complex world of Korean tax law. Taxpert also will help with English to Korean and vice versa, any sort of issues related to accounting. Kevin, the CEO of Taxpert, is located in Itaewon and has helped Koreans in the expat community. He's the best. I love this guy. He's smart, ethical, and just a great accountant. Email him at kevin@taxpert.kr. That's KEVIN at TAXPERT.kr. Or you can give him a call at 010-6833-2903. And if you tell him that you heard us from the Guerrilla English podcast, you probably expect some sort of discount or help on your first filing. All right, today's podcast is about the recent murder in Jeju Island. Kelly and I talk about the murder and go into detail about other black widows. Enjoy the show. I'm Matt Sam here with Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
And today we're going to be talking about kind of a macabre story about the recent murder in Jeju. I know a little bit about it, but Kelly, could you fill us in on what happened and why Koreans are talking about it?
Okay. Oh, before that, did you say macabre story?
Yeah, it's a macabre story. So like macabre would mean kind of dark, horrifying, a little bit scary. So the example is, if let's say a woman kills her husband in self-defense, hits him with a frying pan, and he dies, well, that's not really macabre. But in this case, we have a woman chopping up her ex-husband and throwing away the body. So that kind of situation is a little bit more macabre and dark.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as you already know, or I think many of our listeners have heard of this name, Ujong, which is on the top news every day recently. And then this is really macabre, I guess, because she was alleged to have killed her ex-husband and chopped the body up. And I don't know what she did with the body. If she ate them up or she threw them away, nobody found the body yet. So that's what's happening so far. But yeah, she chopped the body up. Is there any better expression for that?
I watched some serial killer documentaries and some crime documentaries, and they say they chop them up and turn them into a package. And a package is, you've got to chop the body up, cut off the arms, legs, and head, and then you've got to separate them in plastic bags, and then those are the package, and then you throw those away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, chopping up a body, dismembering. Dismembering is, taking apart each limb or head of the body is to dismember.
So she definitely dismembered her ex-husband's body. So what's happening here? Like what the police have so far found out is she had her son's custody.
Right.
And then the ex-husband was not allowed to actually see the son, even though the law said he was supposed to see every twice a month, but she didn't let him.
Okay.
But this time she allowed him to see. So they all got together, and three of them got together and went to the amusement park for the son, and then got back to this pension, the lodge, and that night, she somehow decided to kill her husband. And then what they found out was she put some zolpidem inside the dinner.
I love zolpidem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that tastes pretty good, right?
Well, it helps you go to sleep. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So, but to maybe hide that, she prepared the Korean rice for that dinner. And then after dinner, while the son was playing a game in another room, she killed him.
Wow.
And then for 2 days, she somehow killed and then separated the body,
dismembered him.
dismembered the
Yeah, I
body.
hear it's very difficult. It's really hard to do. It's a lot of work.
Right. Oh, it sounds like you've already done it once.
I'm just curious, how it happened. But yeah, I hear it's very difficult. It's not like cutting a chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It must be really, really hard. And then that's a one question. She's just one small woman who's in a normal height, average height, and average weight, and how she did all, like how she carried everything. It's a big question to me, and then to everyone, I guess. And then what's surprising is she doesn't have much of like a motivation. Like she doesn't say anything, and she doesn't say anything about where the body is either. So that's why the police is now having a difficulty.
Okay. And then why are Koreans fascinated with this? It's quite a big topic, and I see it on the news, and everyone's talking about it. So what's the fascination in your opinion?
I think it's more of her background. We believe most of those like murderers have their own reasons. They've got their own grudge against the society or against their family or some murder for passion, something like that. But this case, she's grown. She was grown in a very wealthy family.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I want to talk about this because I have a funny story about this later. But keep talking about, yeah.
Okay. And then she was well educated. And then she was told to be very affectionate, nice, kind, smart, sociable person at work, at school, to friends, to family, to everyone. So it was a big surprise to everyone. And then because we've never actually expected anyone who's like this, just a normal person like us, could kill someone that way. This is, I think, why it's a big mystery, and then people believe it's kind of fascinating.
Now, so my story is I work with a large, let's say, cosmetic company, and they do a lot of work in Jeju, and they had to go visit Jeju for a business trip. And they went down there and they reserved a SUV, a minivan, and they went to the rental agency. And they got there and their van wasn't there. They said you have to take a smaller sedan. And the woman, she's an executive, she was about to get very angry, but she looked at the woman's name tag, and the last name was Go. And it's heard that this woman who killed her husband the family was in the car rental agency.
Yes.
And all the car rental agencies, the last name Go. So she was about to say something, but she got really scared and she said, "We'll take the car. We'll take the car," and she left.
So, there was a woman, last name with Go,
yeah, and then
the real story in Jeju.
This was right after the murder, but the Go family owns a lot of car rental agencies,
yeah.
And it made her a little nervous, so she decided not to fight, just took it and left. But
at least we know who we should be careful about, right? Ko, last name Ko, in Jeju, especially in the rental car service.
They're not all bad.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, that why Koreans are really curious, of course angry, and then really want to know what's going on here.
Okay, cool. And then I wanted to talk about some other things, some other famous murderers that have happened where husbands are killed by their wives. My favorite one was between 1955 and 1957. Mary Elizabeth Wilson. She had gotten married and killed, or suspectedly killed, 4 of her husbands. And she was dubbed the Merry Widow of Windy Nook. And this is what we're going to talk about, our first of the Black Widows. So Black Widows are women who kill their husbands.
Oh, okay.
Or boyfriends or other men.
So we know widows are the women who have husband because of the death of them. But the Black Widows are
a spider.
Okay.
They're really, so a Black Widow is a deadly spider.
Okay.
So if you get bitten by the Black Widow, you die.
Okay.
So we kind of do a play on words. The Black Widow is the woman who kills.
Okay.
So when she married, after her first husband died, she got married 5 months later to her second husband. And when he died, he only had 42 pounds to his name. That's about $1,000 now in today's money.
Wow.
And then the next year, she married a third husband. He died 12 days into the marriage and only left her 50 pounds. So again, about maybe $1,100. And then within a year, her fourth husband, died, and he left her 100 pounds, a small house, and some life insurance money. And she didn't even go to the funeral. So in today's money, it was about she got about $2,500 and a small house in England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she was known for her what we call dark humor. And dark humor is kind of humor or jokes we say in a very uncomfortable or maybe inappropriate situation. So, like at one of her last weddings, there were leftover sandwiches and cake, and her friend said, "What should we do with these sandwiches and cake?" And Miss Wilson replied, "We keep them for the funeral." So like she knew what was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
she planned already.
Yeah, she planned it. Yeah. So it doesn't really say how they died. It was 1955. It was very hard, but probably suspected poison.
Do you think it's because of the money?
Well,
Only money?
It was. She was only given
like £5,
so,
£50.
So if you would you kill your husband for $1,000?
Exactly. No, not at all. For anything,
$2,000?
I wouldn't.
Oh, come on.
Don't even try. No, don't go up, okay? But like when you get only $50 or £50, then you wouldn't kill someone, right? So what do you think it was for?
Maybe the thrill of getting away with it. Maybe she didn't like her first husband and then she just got addicted to it and not getting caught.
Another mystery of this woman is she got married 4 times. Well, I couldn't even one time. So was she that attractive? Do you have the picture with you?
I had the picture. You can Google her, but yeah, she just looks like an old. There was nothing special about her. She looked just like an old lady with gray hair in England. Maybe she was just charming. I mean, her jokes, that joke about the funeral, I mean, she's pretty funny, so I can imagine hanging out with her.
Possible.
Yeah.
So we've learned another thing.
Yeah.
We got to be careful with those women with dark humor.
And then also going back to Black Widow, another Black Widow, we have these things called Lifetime movies. Lifetime is a cable network in America dedicated to entertainment aimed at women. So a lot of like husband cheating, husband murder, true cases of women being abused, or a lot of betrayal, and it's like a soap opera but in movies. So this situation in Jeju, in America we say, oh, they'll probably make a Lifetime movie about this. They'll make a movie of the story about this woman, and then we would say, oh wow, this is like something for Lifetime. It doesn't mean a long time; it just means that specific cable channel. So like Lifetime created what we call the Black Widow murders, based on another true story. It was a woman who she had met a pastor, and her name was Blanche Moore. And then after her first marriage, the pastor was ill and he died. Then shortly after, she married another pastor, and she seemed like a caring, nice woman. But then her husband fell sick, and then she went to the hospital and demanded that she feed him her tasty homemade treats. But after that, he got sicker and sicker. So they called her the original Black Widow murderer, and that's how the name stuck. And this was the 1980s, I believe.
So she poisoned?
Yes. So poison is kind of the big, I guess, motif we're seeing here. The thing that repeats itself over and over again.
So with what kind of thing did she actually poison them?
That's a good question. They weren't really sure what she was poisoning them with. But what we do see in later murders is 2 chemicals. One is antifreeze. So antifreeze is the chemical you put in your car to prevent the engine from freezing. Now, you can put it, it's been known to be put in wine to speed up the chemical process, but it's illegal. And in small dosages, it won't kill you, but if you feed it to someone over time, it will kill you. So antifreeze, you can just buy it at E-Mart if you want. Yeah. But it's been known if you put it into food, over time, you can slowly poison someone.
Oh, all right. That sounds really dangerous and easy as well.
Yes, and we'll talk about how easy it is to poison someone soon.
Okay, so for the record, we are not encouraging any kind of murder case.
Right. Now, another woman, Stacey Castor, she wanted to kill her husband. They suspected for the insurance money, and she did the slow kind of antifreeze poisoning inside of him, and then they weren't sure, but they found the husband knocked out inside his bathroom, and then she tried to force feed antifreeze into his stomach with a turkey baster.
Ooh.
Do you know what a turkey baster is?
Not sure.
So in America, when we cook a turkey, we cook it in a pan.
Uh-huh.
And then the juices that come off the turkey, they're really delicious, but it's kind of it's a tube, and it uses suction, and it sucks up the juice, and you can put it on top. But you can also stick it down someone's throat and force liquid into it.
Wow.
Yeah. She didn't get away with the crime, though. The cops didn't believe it and found out.
All right.
Yeah. And then finally, I want to talk about Chisako Keehi. She was one of Japan's most notorious serial killers. And she got about $7 million in insurance payouts. And she killed at least 8 men, they think, for her money.
8 men?
Yeah.
So were they all related to her?
No, she just dated or married them and then was able to convince them to sign up for life insurance. And then they died of unknown causes, stroke. They said one was possible cancer, but the police found what we called cyanide. And cyanide is a poison it's used to clean jewelry, it's used in photography. Mm-hmm. It's also called potassium cyanide, but they found that in their system. And we were...
Cyanide.
Yeah,
it sounds very dangerous. It must be very hard to find.
Nope, I just did a quick Google search before the podcast. You can buy it from China. Surprise, surprise.
Really? On the internet?
On the internet, yeah. So you can buy 1 to 2 grams. Minimum order is 10 grams, and it's only $1 for $1 for 2 grams.
Wow!
Yeah.
Only $1 for 2 grams.
Right.
That's that easy.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she must have found it on Google.
Right. Or if you go to a jeweler, they may have it. Or if you're into jewelry, you can buy it.
Uh-huh.
You have to buy a license for some other poisons, but cyanide is very easy to get.
Okay.
And odorless and I think tasteless. But if you take it, you die immediately. That's how Adolf Hitler was said to die. He took cyanide capsules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is, you said, the most notorious case in Japan?
Yeah, to date. So she was doing this all through 2000. And I think she was able to stop it 2007. And she was doing it when she was quite old. I think her last boyfriend was 78.
78?
Yeah, and then she got hydrocyanic acid, which is another form of cyanide, which is quite easy to get, and she slipped it into her drink. So she was killing people way into her old age.
So for money, for insurance payouts?
Yes, yeah. So it was between 1994 and 2013. Yeah, the Black Widow of Kyoto.
Wow, Black Widow of Kyoto. So for this case, okay, it must have hit the whole country, I guess. The other two are that famous as well?
Yeah, I mean, they're just famous in America. One was famous in America, and then the other was famous in England. But I just chose those because they were the highest profile. And then the women did it through mostly poisoning. Because obviously for size reasons, you have to take down a man slowly and painfully. Some people just call that marriage. But, it's just they had to do it via poisoning.
Usually, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be different from state to state in the United States. But with this kind of crime, how much of what is it? Penalty, not penalty, but...
What's the penalty?
Yeah, what's the penalty for them?
Well...
What do they get?
It depends on the situation. What happens if the woman was abused? What happens if, the children were at risk? The court will look at it. But if you murder someone, that's 20 years minimum
for
life,
the sentence?
life imprisonment or execution.
Execution. Oh, so they can be executed.
Depends on the state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what about this woman in Tokyo? Kyoto?
Yeah, so she did it, but I think at the recycling center, I don't know. We'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Okay. So with this Ko story, Ko Ujong story, now people are wondering what kind of sentence she's gonna get. The thing is, the body is not found, has not been found yet.
So we have an expression: no body, no crime.
No body, no crime, right? But the thing is, she confessed.
Okay.
She killed. So, but there's no motive as well. Some people say that it's because of her obsession on her son, her son, because she wanted to have, now she's married with another guy as well.
Right.
And then she didn't want to see anything in the way to have a happy family. And then the ex-husband wanted to see him So maybe she was not happy with that, but still, So what kind of sentence would you?
What's the sentence in Korea? Was it because Korea has very light sentences, right?
Yes.
Like 10 years. Like in Europe, if you kill someone, in some countries, it's minimum 10 years. I think Israel's the same way. You just go to jail for 10 years and that's it. Like that guy in Norway who killed all those kids, I think he's only getting 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, let's give her a prison sentence and then just keep her away from knives and pensions and and plastic bags. It's like, if you keep away from the internet, like she can't use the internet. If we found cyanide in 2 minutes, she can find it. So maybe just keep her. Just watch her, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna be the best way. All right. I think that's it for today.
All right, great, guys. Well, thanks for downloading. You can follow us on Instagram. I'm MattsSam, and Kelly.
KELLY.SEO.
Great. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for downloading. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening today and downloading. Please send us feedback at our Instagram accounts. I am Matt Sam, that's MattsSam, and Kelly is KELLY.SEO. You can also contact us for any of your English needs. We do in-house teaching at major corporations for business English, also one-on-one tutoring. So we offer a lot of services. So if you'd like us to tutor you, just drop us a line on Instagram. We have our own companies and are registered with home tax. Also check out the Konglish Killer book on Ready Books. That's RIDIBOOKS. You can also check out the Modern Slang book on Amazon.com. I think it's still free on the Kindle. Thanks for downloading, and we will see you next week.